And welcome back to the Endurance Hour podcast. This is episode 243 alongside Wendy Mader. I'm Dave Erickson. We are focusing on one topic, one question, and this comes in from Joe, and he writes, I am interested in entering a 2-day race next year that consists of a 50-mile mountain bike race on Saturday, followed by a trail marathon on Sunday. Way to go, Joe. I'm considering buying your Ironman 70.3 training plan for beginners, 16 weeks, but have a couple of questions. So, Wendy, here's question 1. Considering that I will not swim in my race, because he has no interest, should I just keep the plan as is and just take out the swim workouts, or perhaps should I modify it in additional ways?
Hey, Joe, thanks for your interest in actually purchasing one of our programs for your event. Having some trail racing experience, I raced ultras in 2012 and 2013. I finished a 100-mile trail run, so I understand that concept of training. I also understand the concept of mountain biking, and it's not something I do. I don't own a mountain bike, and it's pretty intense. So when it comes to, let's, for example, say you did purchase that training plan, what I recommend is maybe skipping the swim sessions and adding a recovery run or a recovery bike. So just kind of adding more volume to your running and biking program. I'd also recommend that when the training plan calls for, maybe 3 hours or longer ride, you do that on your mountain bike. I think there's a purpose of road biking when you're training for a mountain bike event, but you also need to spend as much time on the trails and get used to your bike handling skills and mountain biking, uphill, downhill. It's just different than road biking. Same with using a triathlon plan for trail running. You don't just want to run flat and on the road. You actually want to kind of take the training details and move it into the trails. So if let's say, for example, on the training plan, it said, 4 by half mile repeats at threshold. Well, still do that, but do that actually on the terrain that you're going to be racing on, like a trail.
So he's got a 50-mile mountain bike race. So I understand how this plan, the 70.3 for beginners, would work for that. But the marathon the following day by trail, wouldn't it be better to get a different program altogether for the trail part of the marathon?
Yeah, because road running, from my experience, the first year I did trail running, I did a lot of my training on the road, and it didn't help me at all. My trail run actually had a lot of elevation, and I did not train on any elevation. So okay. I felt like all my miles on the road did not help me at all. So I'm not quite so sure this is the plan that he should follow. And, maybe he should do more of a search for a mountain biking plan and a marathon plan or a duathlon plan.
Okay. Well, here's question 2. Considering that this race is not until August of 2018 and that I'm not in racing shape or weight, should I start with the 70.3 plan for beginners, 16 weeks, then stack the Ironman training plan for beginners, 16 weeks? And that would put me right at the 8-month mark. So that's interesting. Yeah. What do you think about that?
So the first thing when I read that, I think, well, instead of stacking the two plans, consider our Couch to Ironman program, which is a 32-week program. Since you're not in racing weight or shape, maybe that 32-week program is the program to do, because within that program, we build you up to do a 70.3. So we build up the volume to do a 70.3, just like we do in our 16-week training plan for beginners. And then in 32 weeks, you're able to train for an Ironman, and in your case, training for a trail marathon.
So maybe some follow-up from you, Joe, because I think we've kind of maybe hashed this out a little bit, that maybe the Couch to Ironman plan would be better suited for you because it includes the marathon, but you're doing mountain biking at 50 miles and you don't need to do a full Ironman bike.
But let me comment on that one. Yeah. So a 50-mile mountain bike is going to take you, it could take you, 4, 5, 6 hours.
It's going to stress your body like it is a full distance.
Like a 100-mile road ride.
Yeah.
That might be 50 miles on the mountain bike might take you as long as a 100-mile road ride. So, in a sense, that actually following an Ironman triathlon program for a 50-mile bike as well as a trail marathons, not actually a bad idea. You just want to make sure you're getting in, you're following it, the time based, and you're able to, also do some distance on the road. Mix it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I think what you just nailed it right there. Your programs that you create and that we put together are both time and distance based, and you can just choose. Hey, I have a 3 hour bike ride today. It should equal, if it's on the road, so many X amount of miles.
Right.
Maybe just pick the time and not the distance, because you are on a mountain bike versus a road bike. You're not going to be able to get the miles in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, good question. I will put in the below this video a link to the Couch to Ironman if you're interested in that, Joe, and also in the show notes for anyone else who's interested in that type of plan, whether it's for this combo race, which is quite the undertaking, whether it's mountain biking followed by a trail marathon, or just you want to look into the 70.3 plans that we have. And all those plans, what makes them special and different is that they have video elements and coaching in the plan itself, as well as other resources and other video resources in it. Any other things I missed with that one?
No, I thought it was a great question.
Yep.
I like chatting about my experience and how I can relate to this person on their adventures.
You were the perfect person to ask with your trail running experience and your Ironman experience, so this is great. Joe, thank you for the question. If you have a question for us, you can send it to endurancehour@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail anytime from your laptop, desktop, or from your smartphone by going to speakpipe.com/endurancehour. For Wendy Mader, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Adios.
Adios.